Coming to get you, Barbara.
Here's Johnny.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Scared Speechless, the podcast where two insidious little boys try and find the words to describe our favorite and least favorite horror films. I'm your host, Jake, along with my co-host, Aaron.
I'm just so excited about this second season, bud.
Me too, man. It's good to be back. I know we said that last time, but it feels good talking about some spooky movies again.
Oh, yeah, man. Ah, God. All right. So what are we talking about?
We are talking about Insidious. Insidious, yeah. James Wan directed film. I think, 2010?
2010. It's rated PG-13. It's rated PG-13?
I'd say so. There's no, blood or
I
gore, and there's no swearing.
I guess not. Actually, you're right. Oh, my God. I can't believe I didn't realize that.
I do think that it's very rare for a movie to get rated R for being just, too scary. But I do know it happened. It happened for The Conjuring, I believe. I believe The Conjuring was rated R solely because test audiences felt it was too scary for kids. So, which I mean, that's fair enough. I do think The Conjuring is a pretty spooky movie, but that's not the James Wan movie we're talking about. We are talking about, like you said, Insidious. And I do think it's funny that it came out in 2010, because if someone was like, name a 2010, an early 2010s horror film that was an iconic, I don't know, what am I trying to say? Not even because I love this movie so much, but just iconic wise, it's kind of like the Mount Rushmore of the early 2010s mainstream horror film. It's it's like Insidious, The Conjuring. I'd even throw in The Babadook, because I know The Babadook was a little niche, but I feel like at least a lot of horror fans knew about it. And then I don't know what else could you throw in there? Maybe Oculus.
Cult classic,
I guess.
Oh,
I don't.
Yeah,
I like
that was a really good one.
Yeah,
I love that one. Listen to that episode if you haven't already.
That's a good one. Actually, no, wait, don't listen to that episode. I think that's the one with the audio that's messed up.
Fuck.
That's the only episode, to be fair, that got messed up. We had a good record of not having bad audio problems, other than maybe the first episode and that episode. But anyway, Insidious, yeah. What is your relationship with this movie? How many times have you seen it?
I've probably seen it maybe 2-3 times, because Diana's a big fan of Insidious, but mostly more so Insidious 2 or Chapter 2, is it?
Interesting. Yeah, Chapter 2.
Yeah, she really loved that one.
Mm-hmm.
But so she showed me the first one, and I guess I really just did not remember a lot of it, because when I went into this movie, or maybe it was during a time where I was still scared of every fucking movie, that I didn't, I don't know, it really it was too scary for me, so I didn't want to watch it.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I mean, going back into this, I knew some pretty key parts, but just I got to see so much more. I didn't remember all this stuff.
No, yeah, there's
the world building I felt was so interesting.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I love the world building in this movie. I even wrote in my notes, I love the whole astro projection, the concept of the further. I also love that I know it's kind of generic. It's not the first movie to do this. It's been done several times, but the whole paranormal investigators, I like the people that they get for it. I like Lynn Shay as this kind of badass old lady. I like Specs, who is Lee Wanell, which is cool because he wrote the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. He also directed the third film in the franchise, I believe.
I had a feeling that one of them, if not both of them, were like directly involved when making the film.
Yeah, the nerdier one, the one with the glasses. He wrote the film. That's Lee Wanell. He also is like one of the two leads in Saw, another James Wan movie. He's like James Wan's kind of writing partner throughout the years.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and I also like the bigger dude too. I forget his name. Oh, I can't
Let's see if we can
remember.
Find him here.
Yeah, if you could look that up for me. But I like that actor because he's in season
Angus
2.
Sampson.
Yeah, he's in that season 2 of Fargo. What's his what's his name? What's the character name in the movie? I know the nerdier one is Specs, but I forget his character.
Tucker.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's such a boring name. They should have given him a cool name. His name in Fargo season 2, I think, is like Bear or something. I don't know. It's something cool. But no, I like them. I like a lot of the characters in this movie. But I also liked one thing that I wanted to note was, and I've noticed it recently because when I was rewatching the Scream movies in anticipation for Scream 6, and then I watched them literally like not a couple days ago, like a week ago, just reevaluating them again. And because I just love those movies so much.
Yeah.
One thing that I love about Scream is that there's a lot of backstory in that movie. Like I won't spoil anything for you or the people who haven't seen it, but they go that extra mile to build not just like the world, but the depth of the characters. And they do that in this movie too by having Patrick Wilson's character have that past with like being an what are they called? Like astro projectors or
Astral projector. I don't know. I don't
something
think
like
there's
that.
Like a person for it.
No, she gave it a
Like a
name.
term for it.
Astro. It was Astro something. I think it was Astro projectors because that's what she refers to. What's the kid's
Like the
name?
process. Dalton.
Dalton. Yeah, Dalton.
Yeah.
Dalton and the other one. Oh, Forster.
Is it Forster?
I saw that they're both
thought it was-
back. Isn't his name Forster or Foster?
The younger
other
brother.
Yeah, the one that doesn't get put into the coma.
Dude, I thought it was like Nick. Hang on.
No, he has like some like strange name. Sorry if you're listening and your name is Foster or Forster. It's not like a bad strange name. It's just unique.
Oh, it is Foster. Huh.
Foster. Okay, yeah. Foster and Dalton. But no, I like the characters of this movie a lot. We talked about it a little bit before the podcast, but you mentioned him, Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson is fantastic in this movie. I wrote
He's
in my
very
notes.
good.
I wrote something silly. I wrote like Patrick Wilson.
I like forgot his name.
Oh, I wrote Patrick Wilson
was
is a
like,
treasure. I always get because
Oh.
I always get his name confused with Patrick Warburton, the guy.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
earlier, and I
'cause
was like
the-
trying to like remember his name, but I didn't want to look it up.
No, he's another one who collabs with James Wan a lot. Insidious, The Conjuring, Aquaman. You know,
Patrick Warburton.
no, Patrick Wilson.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, not Patrick Warburton, unless he's in The Conjuring and I just forgot.
Hey man, I don't know.
I like that movie, but no, Insidious. Yeah. I don't know. Do you have like a favorite scene in the movie? Because I definitely know mine.
I mean, I feel like. Well, can I just say that something that enhanced many of the scenes in this movie is like the cinematography and like the camera work.
Mm-hmm.
I had such a good time with it. Sometimes it was confusing, but like I liked it, if you know what I mean. If you can like
Confusing how? I'm intrigued by that sentence.
because it would feel like meshed together, like weird random cuts, zoom ins, and like
See,
stuff like that.
that's something I noted. What I love the cinematography in this movie. The way it's shot is great. But something I usually cannot stand about James Wan movies, even though I really like him as a director, is some of the times in his movies the editing is really obnoxious.
And I just thought it was funny, but like also like kind of fit with the vibe. I don't know. But that's just my opinion.
I don't think it did because like I don't know. Some of the scenes in this movie are a tad cheesy just because this movie does take itself very seriously. Whereas like a movie like Malignant obviously knows how absolutely ridiculous and insane it is, which I love. And obviously they're going for different things, but I don't know. There is a lot to like in this movie. Like you said, there's the cinematography is great. One thing that I love, and it's a scene that me and my roommate Michelle talk about so often, because even though I don't think this is like a 10 out of 10 fantastic, like one of the best horror films ever made, I do think, again, there are some really scary scenes in this movie. And one that I remember so vividly, even before this rewatch, is the scene with the little kid by the record player.
Yeah.
And I love the way that scene is shot. It's like this tracking shot that follows Rose Byrne's character,
yeah.
and then
I
it
love
stops,
that.
watches her walk outside, and then she turns around, and then you see her reaction, and she looks inside, and it's just that little fucking creepy kid. Oh, and I mean, who can forget the most iconic song from this movie, "Tiptoe Through the Tulips"? Oh my god.
Oh god, it's creepy, man.
It's so
it was like
creepy.
so like I was talking to Diana about it earlier, and she was telling me about how like I told her like, oh yeah, I'm like watching this movie. Like, you like it, right? And she's like, well yeah, but I like the second one more. And she was saying that one thing that was so weird about the first one was the music. And I'm like, instantly I can think of like "Tiptoe Through the Tulips" because that's such a it's such a random song, and like if you're a kid in 2010, you've likely heard it on like SpongeBob. So like,
yeah, that's yeah.
having it like used in like such a creepy way is like, oh man, it's a little traumatizing.
No, it's funny because that's literally it's known, that song. I think Tiny Tim is the artist. Yeah. That song is known for two things, and it's SpongeBob and Insidious, and the two could not be like tonally different. And that's the thing. Context is everything. Because like in the context of a silly SpongeBob episode, it's like a fun, weird song. In a movie like Insidious, where these demons are haunting these people, it's creepy as hell when a little kid is putting on the record that little creepy shit and he's running around. There's a lot of creepy scenes in this movie. No, I will say my favorite scene, and I think it is the creepiest scene in this movie, is the scene where the grandmother, Patrick Wilson's mother in the movie, is recounting her dream, and she's talking about going into Dalton's room, and it's like shot from her perspective, and then you go in the room and she sees that the demon's standing there, and when she asks it what it wants, and it just like stretches it, like
so creepy.
It's so creepy. It just stretches its arm up, pointing at Dalton.
Spider leg like hands and creepy arms. Oh man, that was a really solid scene.
It's so scary, and I think it, to me at least, the scariest scene in the movie. But another one where it's like the cinematography just makes that scene better, because like both of that scene and the scene that we just talked about with the little boy playing the song on the record, both of those scenes are great on their own, and I think they would have been scary. But the way that James Wan and his cinematographer frame that scene and have the actors move, like the blocking in that scene, it just adds to the suspense and to the... what I love about it, as like obviously someone who loves like the art of filmmaking as a whole, is just what separates James Wan's mainstream horror films from, I think, the vast majority of like other ones, like a lot of Blumhouse films, is that you can clearly tell that there's a lot of passion James Wan puts into a lot of the scenes. It doesn't feel like he ever phones it in. It feels like he's putting everything into every scene, and I really, really appreciate that. And it makes it makes the watching experience, like you said, you had a blast watching this movie. When I see stuff like that, that's when I have such a great time. When I can see that a director is really putting a lot of time and effort and care and personality into the actual filmmaking. It just makes it more fun to watch, and it's so much more engaging.
Yeah.
On top of this movie just being...
Totally agree.
Yeah, and on top of this movie just being creepy as shit.
Oh my god, man. That's what I was like telling you before, was that like last episode I was really like thinking because like how that movie how I was with that movie, like I kind of got like creeped out a little bit, like here and there, but it was mostly like not that scary. And I was thinking like, damn, like am I really just jaded from doing this show? Like
Yeah.
we only had one season so far. Like, can I really not watch horror movies and like be scared anymore?
Hmm.
Dude, this fucking scared the shit out of me. I thought this was like, wasn't this like the movie that people were talking about back in the day? That's like scientifically the scariest movie in the world.
No, that
Like,
was
ever.
Sinister.
Was it Sinister?
Yeah. That whole like heartbeat things per minute or whatever. I don't know.
Stupid.
It's dumb. Yeah, because like I don't know that all
Sinister
your
wasn't too scary, I don't think.
all you're calculating there is like in it like I guess there is something to like your heart racing or whatever, but I don't think it justifies like being the scariest film of all time. But
Right.
yeah, I mean there's a lot to praise about this movie. I don't know if there's a ton that I hate about it. There is one major thing, and that's the first thing I wrote in my notes. And I knew I didn't even need to write it in my notes because it's one thing that stands out. I hate the color correction in this movie. It has such
What does that mean?
like the colors in the movie. It looks to me a lot of the time like so. Here's my film degree coming in. Sorry for those
There
who
we
don't.
go.
Sorry for those who don't give a shit. But what a lot of professional cameras, a lot of the high end cameras, they shoot in what's called a RAW format. And so what they do is they shoot it in the rawest way they can, but it makes the image look really gray. Like a lot of the colors really gray, desaturated, low contrast. And what that allows the color correction person and the colorist to do in post-production is it gives them a lot more room to play with colors, contrast, shadows, and that sort of stuff. But either way, this movie looks to me like, and I feel the same way about The Witch, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. But both The Witch and like this movie Insidious, they both look like they haven't been color corrected. Like they look so washed out, gray, desaturated, and I get that like they're trying to go for this like depressing family drama because
Right.
so much of the movie emphasizes on Rose Byrne like not only being haunted but being like just broken as a mother and feeling. Also, I would like to say, I want to point out, watching this movie made me realize, and I told my friend Josh this recently, but James Wan is a pretty influential director when I think about it. I don't think movies like The Babadook and Hereditary and stuff would have existed had a movie like Insidious not come out.
What makes you say that?
I was thinking about it more because, and it struck me while watching it this time, a lot of this movie focuses on like the relationship between Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne while they're being haunted, causing problems in their marriage. And also her feeling very isolated and alone and feeling like there's nobody to help her. And it felt very reminiscent of something like The Babadook, where so much of that is about the familial problems like between her and her son and those sort of issues and her feeling isolated and alone. And same can be said for something like Hereditary, where like throughout the course of that movie, you know, Annie's character played by Toni Collette also feels very isolated and alone. And I know that's like not like a super specific thing. It's kind of generic in horror films to have characters feel isolated, alone. But I just noticed that like while watching this movie that like, you know, the camera work and the way that things are shot and framed, and I just see a lot of influence in like, you know, those other films. But I could be wrong. I you know, for all I know, Ari Aster has never seen Insidious. I don't know, but I'm not saying like those movies aren't original or unique. But also, one thing I wanted to point out about Hereditary is that movie is literally about hereditary spirits being passed on through generations. And in this movie, Josh, played by Patrick Wilson, passes on his astro projection to his son, which leads to him being put in the coma and being stuck in the further. So you also have that element of like passing down genes that lead to a horrific haunting. So I also saw those kind of parallels too.
That's fucking interesting you say that, man.
Yeah, something I kind of noticed this time, something I'd never watched or caught before on a previous rewatch.
Yeah. Huh. Man, I just really had a good time with this movie. It really freaked the shit out of me. I was just like, oh, there's a lot to appreciate. I especially like when I think of like the color in the movie like being used, like
Yeah.
that one scene, it feels very iconic, where like the mom is like breaking the news to Patrick Wilson's character, and like then that like he was like about his past and stuff like that, and that he did like astral projecting and all that, and then you're just in like a plain white room, and they're like looking back and forth at each other, and then the mom looks up, and then fucking Darth Maul is behind Patrick Wilson, and it's fucking scary as shit. It's like, 'cause it's so like,
yeah, a very well done jump scare, I'd say.
right. It's like, I feel like if you want to like get into it, like that contrast in color, like it's first it's like white and like blackish, and then it's like white pitch black and like blood red, like it's crazy. It was creepy, so like unsettling.
I've realized upon this rewatch, I don't care that he kind of looks like Darth Maul. I like the design of the demon in this movie.
Oh man, I agree.
It
I
works
just
for
think,
me.
like,
Yeah.
I always thought Darth Maul was creepy, and then now you put him in a horror movie that's like fucking. Well, there you go.
That's a good point. What an
Right.
what an underused villain. Imagine a world in which he had like made it to Revenge of the Sith. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But either way, yes, Darth Maul in this movie. I think it is
made
really
it
creepy,
into-
and I'm wondering if
Made it into Han Solo. The Solo movie.
yeah. Oh my God, did I ever tell you like how that scene came about, like how that happened?
Oh, that like, that they were like, let's put a Star Wars character.
Yeah.
In here. Which one should we do? And they're like, I don't fucking know. How about Darth Maul? And they're like,
Well,
"All right."
no, they gave Ron Howard a list of Star Wars characters and were like, pick one, and he was like Darth Maul. I love
I
that.
was like, what is? Oh man, I'm glad I like wasn't crazy when I was like,
No.
what does this mean?
You know
like,
what I like about this movie? I like the ending a lot.
Yeah.
What
I
a what a bold ending, in my opinion. Like really strong.
I should say, I mean, like I kind of already knew the ending a bit, because like
Yeah.
I would go on like Watch Mojo, and I'd like be
Hi,
like, hey,
welcome to Watch Mojo.
I'd be like, hey, let's watch some scary stuff. It would be like I think it was like a video on like the top 10 craziest endings in a movie.
I don't know.
then-
I don't know about that, but
Well, I think it made like an honorable mention. And then
that's fair.
it was like creepy. Like I remember it was so fucking creepy, and I'm like, that is pretty intense, because you I don't know, like a good majority of movies out there like end on like a good note, but this one was like they're screwed, you know.
You know, yeah. I
What?
nothing. I had a joke in my head, but
God damn it.
I realized it wasn't that funny.
Isn't that the fucking worst?
Yeah.
When you're like,
No, it's like you realize,
you
yeah.
want to say a thing, and then it's just like,
It's like no,
that's the dumbest shit in the world.
That's not gonna land.
Oh.
I like that I had the self awareness to hold off on the joke.
Oh yeah, man, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thanks. But no,
What?
yeah, I like this movie quite a bit. I actually I don't know when the last time I've seen this movie was. I probably watched it like a year or two ago. I'm sure. I think this is definitely a movie that like warrants like. Actually, you know, the first time I watched this movie was when it obviously was a couple months after it had been released in theaters, and I was at my cousin's beach house in New Jersey on Long Beach Island, and we had gotten back from the beach, and it was like nighttime, and we were kids, and we were just like, oh, like they were like, oh, they're like rent a movie on demand or whatever. And then the one girl who was just like the friend of my cousin or whatever, she was like,
Yeah.
oh, why don't we watch Insidious? Like, I hear it's pretty scary. No, she said, I hear it's pretty scary. And so we were like, yeah. And I remember watching it, and I remember pretending at the end of the movie to not be scared, because I thought the girl was kind of cute, and I didn't want to be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that was.
Aw.
I was like, I don't. Yeah, no, that wasn't scary. That was
She
silly.
crazy, bitch.
I'm tough. Yeah, I ain't
Yeah.
I ain't no bitch. No, but in retrospect, I was quite scared, and I think I did have nightmares that night.
No, I'm genuinely like, because I just finished watching it like 40 minutes ago.
Before
and
we
I
started
was
recording,
like,
yeah.
Right, and I was like shitting myself. I would be like by myself watching it on my TV or my phone, and be like, fuck that, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this, like trying not to like look, but like I'm trying to look at the same time, because it's like, if I'm gonna have a show on this, like
Yeah.
I may as well be able to like point out some fucking details.
You know what
Fucking
scene?
crazy.
You know what scene gets me too is
What's that?
when he goes into the further. I think that like I know we talked about like liking that concept and the world building being cool,
Yeah.
but like it's creepy as hell. Oh
It's
my
so
god.
creepy. Oh my god.
The
one scene,
family in the living room.
that was pretty.
Oh,
That was pretty creepy.
that got me.
I
That
thought
got
that
me.
was pretty creepy. But you know what really got me, and for like it was kind of intense. It was like when, like the Patrick Wilson found like the kid. He's like, he picked them up and he was like carrying them back, and they have the like lantern, and then like they kind of get like blockaded by like all the spirits
ghosts,
and demons and whatever. And then they just like, there were just more, and then there was more and more, and then like
Yeah.
you're like, fuck, it's so like claustrophobic, like it's freaky. And then he's like trying to like follow, she was what's her name, the wife.
I don't know her name in the movie. Rose Byrne.
Rose Byrne. Well, yeah, Rose Byrne.
I know his
was like,
is her name like
follow my voice.
I think it's like Elaine.
No, it's fuck. What was
Are you
it?
sure I'm wrong about this?
It's not Elaine.
If
Wait.
if I'm right about this,
You're not right about this, I can assure you.
it's something with an E.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I got it.
I'll fucking prove it. Renee Lambert.
Renee's kind of like Elaine.
It's fucking not.
It's really not. I don't know why I thought it was Elaine. Elaine. No. No.
What was I saying?
You said something about following her. Oh my God. Have we? I'm sorry to distract you, but have we talked about the baby monitor scene?
Oh, fucking the baby monitor scene freaked me out.
Oh, that one
Nothing
gets
you can do.
me.
There's nothing you can do. Oh, Renee. Fuck. I was like thinking when Renee was calling to Patrick Wilson's character and like, follow my voice. And then like he goes and they like hear it and they're like about to go and they like, there's just more and you can like see there's more because they bumped into each other. And then like the light like shone on like a bunch more of the like things, like the spirits, the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, it was even more like claustrophobic then, and it like freaked me out. I thought it was just such a good fucking scene.
No, absolutely. It's a really I've noticed something about James Wan's movies too that he gets away with because I think he handles it really well is he always has like very exciting climaxes. Like I think this movie, like you said, that claustrophobic scene when it's almost like they're getting invaded, like they're getting swarmed by all these demons is really great. I also think about The Conjuring, that has like a very exciting climax. The Conjuring 2, same thing. So he really goes for like the big, and obviously Malignant, if any of you have seen that movie. He really goes for it, which I appreciate. I appreciate like a horror film that doesn't mind going for like a big finale. You know, obviously
Right.
I like the subtle, the smaller ones, but something to like a big, especially like in a mainstream horror film, one that like is the one that like everybody goes to the theaters and sees and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, so like, yeah, I think there is a lot of good stuff in this movie. I think.
Yeah.
I think James Wan, it feels like this is like, I don't think it's quite as good as something like The Conjuring. I'd obviously prefer to watch Malignant. And I'm excited to, since we are kind of doing the Insidious series to lead up to is he doing the new one? I didn't even look on that. Is the Red Door his film or?
Insidious, the Red Door. Let me check.
No, it's Patrick Wilson is directing.
Is it really?
Yeah, can I tell you my prediction for that movie?
What's that?
I think Patrick Wilson's character is gonna die like early on in that movie.
Early?
Yeah, I think they're teasing people with the trailers by featuring him, but I think it's gonna mainly be about Dalton as like a being in college.
Well, I suppose by the time this comes out, will the movie have come out or no?
When does this come out? I want to time it so that so July 7th. So, yeah, it'll be out by then. So hopefully we can review it and then do an episode like the following week on it.
Oh, okay, rad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm excited to watch the second one, especially you said Diana thinks that it is better. I have some free time tonight and I have the house to myself. So I might actually do that tonight. That actually sounds kind of creepy. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll throw that.
Fucking terrifying. Why would you do that?
I'll throw it because I like to be scared. I like feeling scared. But you know what's scaring me more as an adult than when I was a kid? Slashers.
The unbearable weight of your responsibilities?
No, I'm not Nicolas Cage.
Oh, okay. I love that movie.
I didn't see it, but I heard good things.
It was just so funny.
I was slacking last year. I'm trying to make up for it this year. I have more free time at night, so hopefully I can see more movies this year. And I'm excited to do more modern movies, guys. We talked about it, and as much as we love talking about the classics, and we still will do those, we want to talk about more recent stuff. So like newer horror films. Stuff that's coming out in theaters, things that are dropping on streaming services, all that good stuff.
Right.
Yeah, maybe even.
Especially if I feel like if somebody like requests something, then maybe we can work that in there.
Absolutely.
Pretty nice.
If you guys have stuff that you're interested in, I'd like to do polls to see what you guys are interested in. I'm excited to do Insidious. I think it's going to be less taxing than our Child's Play series, which is a great series.
Oh yeah.
Some pretty funny intros in that series too.
Oh God, some fucking legendary intros. Some of my favorites.
But yeah, I don't know if there is anything. Let me check my notes real quick. I know we are around the 30-minute mark. Let me see if there's anything. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of great shots in this movie. The editing and the color correction are my two biggest gripes. They don't really take me out of it all that much. I still enjoy it a lot. I think this is a perfect, like, 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday night and it's rainy out, like, kind of watch, like, get under, like, a blanket.
Man, that actually does sound nice.
Get some tea, some hot tea or something.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet. Oh, one thing that I wanted to say, because I have the trivia still up, was that the film was shot in 3 weeks.
Really?
That's fucking crazy to me.
Huh. I guess
different scenes.
I guess I can kind of see that. I'm more impressed because like the special effects are pretty solid. I think especially for a movie from 2010. But they hold up really well. But yeah, I looked through my notes. I don't know. I think we talked about a lot of the scenes. I think start to finish, it's a pretty entertaining film. It's not too long. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Like we talked about the world building, I think being really cool. And I really like that. I like when a horror film goes that extra mile with the screenplay to like give us something a little bit more to latch onto. I like how this, oh my God, there was one thing that I wanted to bring up that we didn't talk about. I love the scene where she tells Josh's mom tells him about his youth and how every time she took a picture of him, the person in the wedding dress got closer to him.
Yeah.
And the sequence of events of him seeing the pictures, the black dress, whatever, The ghost that was tormenting him or trying to get close to him, getting closer and closer and closer and closer. I thought was terrifying. And then again
Super creepy.
to have that loop back at the end when she's like, when he's like, I don't like my picture being taken, and then obviously kills Elise, and that we have that shocker jaw dropping ending, which it does feel a tad bit sequel baity, but I don't think I care all too much because I do like a good shocking ending.
I totally get what you mean by that, because I'm like, okay, so it's not over. That's the kind of like feel that I get from that sort of thing. But then it's like, but then it does kind of like also raise the question, like, I want to know what happens next. I'm very excited to get to see the chapter 2.
Have you seen you have seen the second film before, you said, right?
I think I have, but again, this was a long while ago.
There's one scene that I can distinctly remember from it, so I'm excited to get creeped out by that again. But I don't remember too much about it. I actually do forget how it ends. I remember bits and pieces, but it's not a movie I watched. I don't remember it too fondly, so I'm excited to see how this rewatch holds up. I've been a little bit, I will say, and maybe the fans of the podcast will be appreciating this, but all 6 of you. But no, people who do have listened to our earlier episodes, I have been a lot nicer and kinder to movies recently. I don't know, maybe it's just the warm weather, but I have been a lot kinder to movies before. So or as of recently, so maybe this new rewatch of Insidious 2 will be a good time, and I'll have a lot of fun with it. But do you want to get to our scores?
I was gonna say that I really like the intro to the movie, and like the song that went with it, and like the like crying violins, the ones like it was like kind of reminded me of like Tom and Jerry, which like again is like another connection to like a cartoon that like then you put it in a scary movie and it's fucking creepy.
I fuck with Tom and Jerry.
No,
I do like, we didn't talk about it a lot, but I do like the music in this film. It's a little used too much as a crutch at times. Like it does, I like some of the visual jump scares, but it does use the loud noise jump scare effect a lot, and I think they could have toned down that a bit. So we'll see if they tone that down a bit in the second one. I really do not remember. I've seen the second film maybe twice in my life, and it's been at least 8 years since I've seen the second one. So it'll be like pretty much a fresh watch because I remember so little. But yeah, any other scenes you got on your mind, or any other talking points of the movie?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I noticed it, and I was very proud that I noticed it. But there was a little saw.
I know what you're talking. Yeah.
Drawing in the or jigsaw chalk drawing in the guy's classroom, Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a thing that I should like take note of, because like I have a podcast where I'm supposed to review horror movies. I should know.
Yeah.
This little Easter egg.
Have you seen Saw before?
I have not.
Interesting. Okay, we'll have to get to that at some point. However, I noticed that too, which is funny because I've seen Insidious a bunch of times, and maybe I just didn't remember it was in it, or I probably have never caught it before, but I did notice while watching this time. I was like, "Hey, Jigsaw!" So that was a
cute.
Nice little Easter egg for James Wan and Lee Wanell, which was pretty cool. But other than that, I know what I'm gonna give this movie. If you,
I think I know what I'm gonna give this movie as well. So I'll go first. I give this movie an 8.9 Darth Mauls out of 10.
That's fair. That's a decent amount of Darth Mauls. I'm gonna give this movie a pretty clean 7 comatose children out of 10. You're welcome for that one, people.
Thank you.
But so other than our scores, moving on from that, we'll do our little plugs. If you guys don't already follow me, you can find me on YouTube at Former Film Student. I do a lot of movie and TV related content. A lot of video essays, breakdowns. I I don't know where the channel will be when this video is coming out, but I have some cool stuff planned. Especially, I'm nearing the 1,000 subscriber mark, so I have a pretty cool video planned out.
Hell
which,
yeah.
Aaron, I'll tell you about after we're done recording. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. So the videos have been doing really well. So yeah, follow me over there. Subscribe to me. That'd be really cool. Other than that, you can find me on Instagram at boosjacob. That's BOOSJACOB, all under, what is it? Lowercase letters. Forgot for a second. Yeah. Forgot my English teachings. Other than that, you can find this podcast at Scared Speechless on Instagram. Scared Speechless, all lowercase, all one word. Yeah, find us on there. That's where we will be posting a lot of our content. Hopefully we'll be uploading more of these segments from the episodes on to TikTok. I don't know the exact limit for videos, but I definitely want to start posting like fun segments from these episodes on TikTok. So follow us. Follow us on TikTok at Scared Speechless. That would be awesome. Also follow me at my former film student TikTok as well. So yeah, any plugs for you, Aaron?
Well, I have an Instagram. It's at Vixatic. That's VIXATAC. Don't worry about what it means. It's a name. Other than that, not really. I don't really have anything else.
I still think you should start your own YouTube channel. I think you'd have fun with that.
I mean, I'm thinking about it. I am thinking about it.
Make whatever kind of videos you want. It'd be great.
You're right. Yeah, I'll see what I do. If anybody wants to suggest something that I can do, by all means, go for it.
Whatever your heart desires. The world is your oyster, and you are a pearl.
Hell yeah.
A pearl of a human being. I know, poetic.
That was some deep shit just now.
I'd be laying down straight bars.
That hit me in the heart.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we don't want to take up too much of your time in an effort to make these episodes shorter. Also, let us know if you guys like the shorter episodes. I'm kind of vibing. I'm kind of vibing with the more natural, just easy flowing conversations. Engage with us. But yeah, we're short enough now to where you can throw us on your lunch breaks and listen to what we have to say, ramble on about these horror films, and interact with us. These episodes are going to be on YouTube. Oh, I forgot to mention that there will be a YouTube channel now for Scared Speechless. I will probably just be uploading these new episodes at some point in the past, or not in the past, in the future. I will go back maybe and upload previous episodes, but that'll take a lot of time and effort. So I will see if I get to that. But follow the YouTube channel. Subscribe to us there as well. But yeah, other than that, I don't think I have anything else to say. Stay insidious, guys. We appreciate listening. We appreciate you guys listening to us sincerely. It does mean a lot. Throw us on whenever you get a chance.
Throw us on when you're having your gas mask seance. That freaked me out, man. That was like another thing. Like that whole like.
I would have if the editing wasn't so nauseating.
Right. I don't know. I was just.
No, it is a solid scene. Props to Lin Shaye for giving it her all. But
hell yeah.
We love badass old women. Hashtag support badass old women. All right, guys. Well, that is it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next one. We should probably do a recommendation. Do you want to do Insidious 2 for the next episode, or do you want to do something else and give us a little bit of a break?
I'm honestly really down to see what happens in the sequel.
All right, guys, we're going to continue the train of Insidious. So Insidious Chapter 2, if you don't... I don't know if I said it or either of us said it at the beginning of this episode about spoilers, but just assume spoilers. We're talking about the entire movie, so I feel like it goes without saying. Either way, spoilers for next episode as well and every subsequent episode. But if you guys don't want to be spoiled, watch Insidious Chapter 2. I think it's on like HBO as a streaming service. So
yeah, HBO Max, yeah.
Something like that.
I think it's just Max now.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Max. We'll get into that at some other point. That's whatever. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening as always, and catch us on the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.